Hello, everybody. This is Beastmaster game. Let's hop into the Dotabuff. Boom. That's Dota, and there we go. Dotabuff. Okay, Beastmaster. I haven't made a video of Beastmaster since August of last year, so it's been like a year. Sorry about that. Yeah. One of the least popular heroes in the game. I'm really surprised about this. I couldn't believe his popularity was 104th, but I mean, you really almost never see a Beastmaster in a Dota 2 game, but his win rate's actually pretty good. I personally have no clue. I mean, I could guess. I think I understand. Oh wow, I didn't notice this. This build, I'll have to message them about this. There's a bug on this page. It's missing a skill. They changed his skill recently, so this is probably why it's bugged. They probably forgot to update the codec, but nobody plays the hero, so nobody even sees this webpage, except I have seen it now. So maybe I'll tell them about it. But one of the least played heroes in the entire game. What is his? He's picked 2.6 approximately of all games, which is pretty much never. Very, very low. But his win rate's not bad. It's about 50%. He's got really good skills. He has a variety of abilities. He can go in multiple lanes. He can go mid. He can go off lane. You can play support Beastmaster. It was popular for a little bit there, but it's not popular anymore. And let's take a look at his items that are popular. Tread's very popular. I think that's fine. Vlad's very popular. I think that's fine. Blink Dagger popular. That's great. Ag's popular. That's great. Necro, that's popular. That's perfect. You need a Necro when you play Beastmaster. Items that are not popular or good. Stout Shield Bottle. These are all items that you get if you're losing. I don't really like the Arcane Boots pickup personally. You can go like an Arcane Mech build if you're playing support, but I'm not a huge fan of that. And Phase Boots are okay on the hero, but I'd rather get Treads, I think, personally, because you do Tread switch and your mana pool is a little bit low. As you can see, your int gain's a little bit weak, your agility gain is pretty bad, and your strength gain is mediocre. So heroes Beastmaster is good at. A 7% advantage versus Wisp is ridiculous. Before I get on this, I should talk about his abilities. First one is Wild Axes. You basically throw out your axes. They do physical damage. They hit up to 2 times, so the damage is double there. To 140 physical at level 1, which is really good for an AoE. And at level 4, it does 320 physical damage. So pretty spammable, 13 seconds and 120 mana. It hits spell immune allies like BKB heroes, and it destroys trees. This used to be composite damage, which means it was reduced by armor and magic. So it would be first reduced by, I don't know which one went first, but first it would be reduced by magic damage. So you'd lose 25% of the damage, and then it'd be reduced by your opponent's armor, which is why in late game Wild Axes did such shit damage. But now it's all physical, which means that you can boost it up, and it's more reliant on how much armor they have. So in the late game, it's a bad skill against carries that are agility, but it's still probably pretty good against supports who have low armor. So it's kind of a cool part about the hero. Second skill is called Call of the Wild, and he's got 2 different abilities now. They're different cast points, basically, because in the past they would be the same, and you'd cast your boar, and it would also cast your hawk, and your hawk would often just die in an AoE while the fight was happening. So you can cast a hawk. It scales better. It's decent at level 1 instead of just being trash at level 1, level 2. But it gets more vision and more movement speed and more vision range as you level it up. And your the second part of it is the wild boar, and the boar also scales better between level 1 and level 4 now. So this is a skill you usually max out first because the boar is so good now, and the cooldown is pretty fast. So you can have 2 boars up for a 20-second overlap, which is pretty good. It's only 15 mana, so you can cast a spell pretty much as you want, because it takes about 15 mana to get that, or 15 seconds to get that mana back, somewhere around there. The boar's speed is 40% for attack speed and slow. So it's pretty darn good for chasing people and getting kills. As long as you set up a disable on somebody and you have the boar hitting them, most of the time they can't deal with it very well because it's got about 500 HP at level 4. So in a lot of cases, they have to stun the boar and then run away is the only way to escape. Third skill is called Inner Beast. This is a great aura. It gives attack speed bonus to you and allies and creeps nearby. It goes up to 45%, which is quite a lot. 1 skill point in this is pretty good, 15% attack speed. Really good skill. And the ultimate, one of the best ultimates in the game, in my opinion, is Primal Roar. Sorry, I keep moving my mouse. I'll just take my hand off of it. It lets loose a deafening roar that stuns and shoves open a path to its target. So what basically happens is you roar somebody, it stuns them for 3 seconds to 4 seconds, depending on the level, and then it has a big AoE around it that also does damage, I believe. Shout width, and when you slow, the people that you're not roaring get shoved to the side, and they get slowed, and by quite a bit actually, 50% movement speed slow, and 50 attack speed slow. and the slow duration lasts for 2, 3, and 4 seconds. When you get an Aghanim Scepter, your range of the cast goes up to 950 instead of probably around 600. And the cooldown goes down to 45 seconds at all levels, which is relatively low. The Ags build is okay, I feel, but it's not amazing. I would almost rather get a Refresher Orb on Beastmaster instead of getting a Scepter, but it would have to be like a late game item. I feel like I've done the Scepter Rush a few times. I just don't recommend it. I think it's much better to just buy Blink Dagger. Because the Blink Dagger, because part of the Scepter purchase is increasing the range of your roar, but you're better off just blinking on top of your target and doing damage that way, because that way you're not roaring and then running up 950 and then initiating. I feel like that part's a waste. The lower cooldown for long duration team fights is sometimes useful, but not always the most. The mana cost on this ability is very good, but this is Beastmaster is kind of a hero that's been popular for a long time because roar is so good. It goes through Magic Immunity as well, so if somebody's BKB'd, you can roar them. So it's good counter to BKB heroes. But as a whole, you want to use it to burst them down. And so Blink is really good for that. So like I said, Blink is very good on the hero because it allows you to initiate. Ags has a really high win rate, probably because you're just farming it in a lot of games. And the lower cooldown can be useful, and the range is kind of nice. But the most important item to get other than Blink Dagger is Necro 3. And sometimes you want to get Necro 3 before you get Blink. When Beastmaster was being played in the previous patch, people were going mid with him, and they were just farming a super fast Necro 3 and preferably getting it before 20 minutes. And that's because you can just kill people with this. It's a decent item on most heroes, but with Beastmaster, it feels overpowered. And the reason it feels overpowered is because you summon 2 little dudes, and they attack for you, and the cool part is they attack faster because you roar somebody, or because of your aura, which makes them attack faster. And the other cool part is that you combo it with your boar, which slows people, which means your Necro 3s hit them more. And the even cooler part is that they're stunned with roar, so they're not going to be able to move. So the Archer has a mana burn as well. It does 225 mana burn, which does 225 damage. So as you spawn the Necro, you basically, this is your chain of initiation. You blink and roar, you summon your Necro, or you blink, summon your Necro, and roar is the best part. And then you start attacking them with your Necro, and then you summon your boar, and then you just start wailing on the guy in axes. So you're basically hitting him with a boar, which slows them by 40%. The Necros wail on him the whole time. Your ranged Necro casts mana burn, which does 225 magic damage. And all this time, the melee Necro's hitting them, and also for 75 damage, and also mana breaking for another 75. It's a lot of damage output, and it does a lot of damage. And it's a great item to have. It gives you 16 strength, which is damage and HP for you, and it gives you 24 int, which makes up for that bad int gain. So Necro is the item. Nothing else compares to this item from a Beastmaster standpoint. It gives you solo kill potential, it gives you counter push, it gives you push, you can D-ward with it, you can see invisible heroes. Necro 3 is a great item, and it has no faults on Beastmaster. It's always the item you want, so make sure you pick that up. Now, here's he's really good against. The reason he's very good against Wisp is because you can stop Wisp relocating. Also, if you roar the guy that Wisp is tethered to, he'll be pushed away, and there's a chance it'll break the tether. Very good against Lone Druid because you can kill the bear or kill the hero very easily, I would guess. Also, you have the Quill Boar, and the boar can slow either the bear or the Lone Druid. If the bear gets slowed by 40%, he's not going to be doing very much damage, and I feel like Beastmaster is pretty survivable against the bear as a whole. So I feel like you could definitely outplay a Lone Druid very easily. Good against Bat Rider because Bat Rider will often initiate, and Beastmaster allows you to just roar the bat. Even if Bat BKBs, it doesn't matter. You can just roar against him. Against Chen, this one's a little surprising, but I guess you can axe the counter push, and roaring the Chen would also help secure a kill. Basically, like, there's a lot of heroes here that help people stay alive, like Chen and Wisp, but Beastmaster just has such good disable and burst damage that you just kill him anyways because the disable is so long and it goes through magic immunity. Good against Venomancer, probably because Veno can't get away from you, I would say. You could just jump on him, roar him, and he just kind of dies because all he can do is scale you, and that's not going to be enough. Good against Morphling, I don't know. This one's a little surprising. Oh, probably because with Necro 3 you have Mana Burn, and Mana Burn's very good against Morphling. Good against Ancient Apparition because Ancient Apparition doesn't have a disable, same with Visage. Basically, if you go on pretty much all of these heroes, if you go on them, they just die because they can't get away from you. Except for maybe Wisp if you roar and then he relocates afterwards. So here is that he's bad against. Bad against Axe, this one makes sense because you have a lot of illusions and summons and they're attacking Axe and they make him spin more. Bad against Phantom Lancer because your AoE's a little poor, and if he gets on top of you and drains your mana, you're basically just dead. Bad against Bristleback because Bristleback has too much survivability. He's able to live through it, and his quills will do AoE damage, which will very easily kill your Necros and your Boar. Bad against Sniper because Sniper is a super ranged hero, so if Sniper ever attacks Beastmaster, things get really bad and it's hard to get close enough. Timbersaw does pure damage and is good against strength heroes, so not surprising to see him there. Darkseer is a little bit too high HP and he can run away after you roar. Nature's Prophet can often TP maybe, and Radiant and stuff. And Phantom Assassin has evasion, so the illusion or your summons don't hit him very much. So these all make sense. So that's pretty much everything to know about Beastmaster. I play Beastmaster on Modern Mount, 39 games, and I have 71.79 win rate. This is one of my best heroes out of all my heroes, if not my highest. Let's see. My Techies is apparently the best. My Beastmaster used to be my best, but I think I lost another game recently. So my win rate went down a little bit, but yeah, my Techie or my Beastmaster is one of my highest win rates out of all my Dota 2 heroes. I feel really good at Beastmaster. So let us hop into the game. Wait, I have to close this thing. Boom, there we go. All right, we're in the game, and my camera's a little high. Let me fix this. Sorry. Okay, so play. This was a unranked game. To be honest, most of the time I just random Beastmaster. I don't pick him very often, but maybe I should, because I actually do like the hero a lot. I think he's really fun. I had like 3 item sets for him. I feel an affinity. I randomed obviously this game. I got a South Shield. Was I going mid? Looks like I'm going mid. Yeah, I think I'm going mid this game. I actually like mid Beastmaster a little better. I think it's a lot stronger. You can actually last it quite well with this hero in the mid lane. You've got 4 armor, which is pretty solid. You have really high base strength. So your HP is high. I opted for a Stout Shield basically because I randomed, and it'll make my HP go a lot longer, and I'm against probably all ranged heroes. Like, it's probably either an Invoker or a Puck mid. I don't remember what it was because this replay was at least a week or 2 ago, but if you do random and you're going mid, I feel like throwing a Stout Shield in is completely fine because you're justifying, that's like the random cost basically. So I get an extra Stout. Every time I get attacked, I take potentially 10 less damage, which is really nice. I think it is 10, right? 16, I'm sorry. I was way off. 16 damage is a lot, 50% chance. So it basically blocks 8 damage per auto attack, which is a huge amount. Over the cost of 10 auto attacks, that's almost a tango, you know. I summoned the Boar here because I wanted to make sure that we were going to be able to get the rune. Looks like I feed the Boar here, but I am able to get the bounty rune, which I think is worth it. One of the really nice things about the summons is you can use them for vision. The Hawk is very good at that. Use the Hawk to look for ganks and kills and stuff like that. Honestly, I think Beastmaster is a viable hero. He just never gets played. I'm not really sure why, but hopefully after this video you guys try him out. He takes a little bit of micro because you have to play with your Hawk and the Boar and stuff, but it's totally doable. And the way that you should control your micro, in my opinion, is you set your Boar to 2 and you set your Hawk to 3 is what I do basically. I say, oh, I've got I set one of them to a hotkey and I set one of them to the other hotkey. And these are saved every game, so it's not like I have to... I was microing really bad these first couple last hits, but it's not like I lose a lot by setting them to hotkeys. Like, you basically need 3, maybe 4 hotkeys in Dota 2. If you play Meepo, it's good to have more than that. But me personally, I mostly just work with like 2 hotkeys. My hero and an ult or a Manta Illusion kind of a thing. Hit the Puck quite a bit there, which I think is worth it because his armor is low. I wanted to go for that last hit, but it didn't feel very safe because my HP is a bit low. I kind of needed to use a tango there. Hitting the Puck with the Warlane axes is not something that happens very often either, but if you can get that hit, it does a lot. He should be able to phase shift it. I think there is a chance to get him if you throw the axes far enough, but right now I'm not feeling very comfortable at last hitting, so I'm just going to sit back. And this is basically what you can do to be abusive if you are playing Beastmaster. You can basically just sit back and you get last hits using your pig. And there's one player I actually saw play Beastmaster a lot recently, and that was MSS, I believe, for Team Archon, I believe. I think he's on Team Archon. Yeah, I think he's on Team Archon, if I'm not mistaken. But he plays Beastmaster in the offlane, and he summons the boars, and he basically just last hits with the boars is pretty much what he does. And it works out really nicely because as you level up the boars, they do piercing damage. So if you watched my Purge cast of Pub the other day and I talked about piercing damage, it does bonus damage to creeps. This is really unfortunate. I think he ended up interrupting that. So I lost a regen rune there. That was pretty unfortunate, but nicely done by the Coddle, and I should have honestly shifted over a bit earlier anyways, but I thought I was going to be able to guarantee it because the puck went for top, so that was too bad for me. Makes sense though. But yeah, the boars are very good at last hitting, that's why maxing them out is good. You want to keep their HP up as well. Helps a lot. Made a little bit of a mistake here. He started outplaying me a bit in terms of nuking. I was able to get him with one of the wild axes just there. But I have to think more about when my pucks can use orb, basically. Or when their puck. It's not really my puck. Brought my boots. I mean, I'm farming pretty well, honestly. I've got boots in a bottle already. I'm in a pretty good place. This is kind of what you want as a Beastmaster to get to this point. But the puck's doing a decent job of harassing me. Again, it's nice to have a stout shield. If I did get that bottle charge, I might have been in a better place. I maybe could have gone for some harass there on the puck. But just using the board to last hit's really easy to do. Maybe not really easy, but it does pretty good damage. 30 damage, and that's piercing, so it doubles. So it's about equivalent to a hero right click. The only downside is that his attack is a lot slower, and here he very wisely did the boar kill again. Luckily I was able to dodge his silence, so that wasn't that bad. But at this point I was like, I'm out of mana. I could maybe wait for a rune, but it's a little dangerous because Coddle rune controlled before, and Puck is a very gank-able hero. He can very much gank me. As I go to a rune spot is what I meant. So I just thought it would be better to go back and heal, so I did that instead. Looks like there's an invis top and a bounty rune bot. So I'm just going to bottle up to full here. I'll TP back and I won't miss too much. I should buy another TP before. I didn't do that. I think that's a pretty big mistake because as the mid hero, especially a very a hero that can very easily gank, I think it's great to have a TP. And I did not get one, so that's a pretty big mistake. Because now I'm going to have to use a courier to fly it to me, and it shouldn't really be like that. So here's our Puck doing Puck things. He's able to kill my boar. Poor little guy. I just summoned him. Against melee heroes, you can really outplay people with Beastmaster though. Just because you can always just right-click the boar on their stuff. Right-click the boar on their hero. You can move it around to basically zone them out while you're getting last hits. The boar actually doesn't do that much damage. What you should do to deal with it is just kill the boar if possible. But most of the time that's not really manageable. It's very difficult to deal with to do that. Just did a little push here. I figured that somebody was going to get the bot rune, I think, so I stayed mid instead, especially because I was so close to 6. And now that I have Roar, this is basically your standard skill build now for Beastmaster. Max out the boar as fast as possible. In the past, you would do axes with aura. You would skip the summons completely. And one thing I'm doing really bad this game is I almost never use my Hawk to scout. I should be spawning the Hawk like this, and I should be sending it to a rune spot, just a spot for ganks. Or if I personally am worried about dying, where I should put the Hawk is right over here on the map. If I put it right here, preferably, here, I'll just show you quick. If I sit it like right here, it goes invisible after a bit of time, standing still. Takes at level 3 apparently it has a fade time. But if it wasn't level 3, I would probably sit it here or right here maybe. Because when you get ganked on Dire side, they're probably gonna walk this way. If I was on Radiant, I would probably sit it like right here maybe, so you could see people coming to gank you. I could also move it to the enemy jungle kind of a thing. Yeah, I told Chris, he was playing the Wind Ranger here. I was like, oh, come to the rune spot, we can collapse on this guy. And I was able to roar and kill the Coddle. The Coddle has very low armor, so he can't really contest that very well. I mean, all I had to do was like right click there once or twice or something like that, and we got a pretty easy kill. So very good roar. Getting roar kills are really important for Beastmaster if you can do it, because it's gold gain and experience gain. You know, you really do want to get your levels up, because that's more levels of axes, that's more levels of your attack speed aura. There's a lot of really good things for Beastmaster about getting experience. I figured he might jump here. Did that a little poorly. I think I honestly could have killed him there if I did that a little better. Look how big the boar slow is. Isn't that amazing? It just guarantees the Witch Doctor can keep hitting. So despite me dying there, I still did get a kill out of it. So I think the Witch Doctor got the levels for that. So that puts Witch Doctor at 5. So that was a really good gank by Witch Doctor. I was really happy he did that. Swapping out some items, I'll get a full magic wand. Honestly, if I would have bottled a little better after you went high ground, I think I would have lived there, or I very much or reduced the puck's HP a lot, because I had bottle charges and I had a stout shield and I have really high armor, so I think I could have gotten him pretty low. So I buy the full magic wand, I buy a belt of giant strength. It's good to throw spells usually right after you leave base. If you look at my mana, I only spent about 100 mana on that nuke instead of spending 120. So I got a little bit of value because I had some fountain regen left over. Spawning the hawk. Do a little damage to my pig. Didn't get hit, so I'm all good. And then I can go for top rune. I've got roar again. Getting a kill on the puck is definitely something that I could do. I wanted to throw axes just to do a little bit of damage. This is kind of dangerous for him. Yeah, I don't think I want to roar it, but it kind of looked like a roar opportunity, but not entirely. Again, hit the puck with one axis. Usually it does the second hit of axes on the way back, but it's a little buggy sometimes. It doesn't always work right. If anybody ganks mid at this point, though, I could very easily get a kill, that's for sure. Fortunately, I lost a pig. I basically should be not letting him hit my boar that much, especially because I just summoned it. Right there was perfect, because the axes where it hit him, or the farthest I cast it, you can choose how far to cast it. It's a ground target. So if I cast it right on top of him, then by the time they get to him and hit him, they will turn back and immediately do the second tick of damage. That's why that one did a lot more damage to the puck. So he was able to phase shift that one entirely. Thus his life. Little deny with the boar. So yeah, so the way that I control my micro is I put the boar, I believe, on 2, and I put my hawk on 3. So every time that I summon the boar, I immediately press 2, and then I right-click the enemy hero. That's one way to do it. Or you can press the hawk key and then do a drag select over your screen like this, and then right-click the enemy. This is a bit of a bad... oh, it's right, I use an invis. Okay, that's fine then. I basically TP'd and used my invis. So now we just have to wait for them to come up a little bit. I'm going to have to bottle as we start this because I don't have enough roar mana, and here it is. There's the roar, the summon, and a couple hits. So TP coming as well. Luckily, my boar got unsilenced, or unstoned, or whatever. A little bit of axe damage, and that is going to be another kill. So we got the Medusa as well. That was really, really nicely done by Chachi, I think. Teleported pretty much right away. And we kill Dusa and a Coddle, so another good gank. I've got 48 CS at about 10 minutes, despite my early last city woes. I'm in a really good spot in terms of farm. Honestly, I feel so comfortable on this hero. Feels just kind of easy. You just see the opportunities, you go for the roars, and you get the kills. It's really important that your roars are not wasted, though. So that's probably the main thing that you're going to have to learn, other than the micro part when you're playing this character, is you have to make sure that you don't mess up and end up feeding or wasting your roars. The wasted roars are a really big deal, because it's lost opportunity, it's lost gold, and it's lost experience for your team. And most of the time I only gank with runes, at least until I get a couple big items, like my Necro. So otherwise you don't really have a huge amount of damage to deal with this. He's got a DD here, but I'm pretty, well, I don't want my board to die, but I'm pretty happy trading hits with him. He did such a good job of killing my board, though. This guy did a great job doing that. Alright, got my Necro 1. And once you get your Necro 1, that's when things kind of start. Necro was buffed recently to be better at Necro 1. In the past, the Necro 1 was just pretty bad. The duration was really low. But they changed it recently. Let's see if it shows the stats. Did the duration stay the same at all levels? I think the duration was always the same, but the damage was really poor, I feel. But if you look at the scaling numbers, the warriors they have a lot more. I think they changed the HP of the level 1 warrior. They used to be much lower. But unfortunately I spent all my money here. I don't have a TP, but can continue just last hitting mid, and this is fine. Like, I'm rotating sometimes. That's basically what you want to do. I kept my boar mid to last hit for me while I went for the rune. Unfortunately, He popped an invis. That was so depressing. He got the rune. If that was any other rune, I would have killed him there. Except for maybe haste. He might have killed me on haste. I'm not 100% though. So not only did I roar, but I also spawned my Necro. So I wasted that as well. It's a really big cooldown, 90 seconds. It's pretty much like an ultimate. I should be able to right-click my illusions on. Yeah, that should be easy. I did a mana burn on him as well. You can't really see it, but I usually do it with mouse. I select everything. I roar at the target after spawning the Necro. I right-click them on a hero, and then I select the ranged Necro. And then I cast the mana burn manually. Got another kill here. Like, I don't even need roar and you can get kills, and that's just with the 4th level of the pig, and you just have to understand when those kills are possible. If the keeper actually, I don't know if he had mana for it, because it looks like he didn't even have mana to ult after he used his mana leak on me. But if he used what's it called, blinding light on my pig, that's one solution, because the pig has to hit for the slow to work. This looks bad. One. I wasn't able to get my roar off, unfortunately. Ooh, that was so close. So good TP support by Puck there. It felt fine to kill the Invoker, but the problem was we were a little too grouped up there, and because of that, when the Puck initiated, he did damage to all of us. That's why that went so poorly. So Juan didn't keep me alive, unfortunately, and if it did, we might have been able to kill the Puck. So, oh well. I've still got 5 kills, I'm really happy. But yeah, you have to really understand the strength of your hero, and Beastmasters is mostly in chasing and a little bit of burst damage. So if you're against a hero that doesn't have a stun, like Keeper of the Light, then if you hit him, or even Lich, for example, if you just hit him with your pig, he's not going to get away. And it's more of a boar, but I like calling him a pig, because he was a pig in Dota 1. Look like he's called a quill boar. So now we're just looking for the spot, put the hawk down. It's nighttime, unfortunately, so it's kind of hard to see. I gave a little bit of a bottle to the Wind Ranger, and then as soon as we saw that we were behind the Dusa, now is where we go for the kill. And I spawned all my stuff early. Here's the mana drain, and at that point he's out of mana and he just dies. So really, really good counter against Medusa as well. Is kind of Beastmaster. Necro 3 is really, it's not as much Beastmaster, but the important part is that I summoned all my stuff first and then ran in with it. And I did that because you don't want to waste time casting those spells when instead you could just be you don't want to spend time casting those spells when the most important one to cast is Roar. Because if you Roar and then you cast your Boar and then you cast your Necro 3, you've already wasted half a second, 1 second of damage that you could have had otherwise. And if you do that, you're really limiting your damage potential. So if he doesn't know I'm there, I cast my abilities, then I walk in, and then I roar. And the micro is a little hard, and I'm sure that's going to be the toughest part for you guys to get used to. I was really surprised that was real. This looks like a kill now. So he wasted his orb here. I got kind of wrecked. Well, that was the kill. That was the Chain Frost right there. We all kind of ran together, but whatever. We killed Puck. We got 3 kills out of that. I'm cool with that. And we killed a Medusa previous to that. If you look at Medusa's farm, she has an Aquila. Looks like she's going for a Yasha next. So pretty standard stuff. Chachi has BOTs and a point booster. So I'm pretty content at this point. You know, see your opportunities, micro correctly, get those kills. And from here on out, my aura gets better and better and better, and my entire team is going to attack faster. So that's another reason Beastmaster is very good. He's kind of like Avenge for that reason. You just get stronger and stronger with levels. I maybe should have TP'd to the tier 1 tower, but they probably just would have backed off. I wanted to go for this kill as well. So I gave him all my bottle charges, and I was hoping the Dusa would come up a bit. Stand in trees as you approach for these things. It's always important. Should have spawned the Hawk a little bit earlier. Because if he sees it, he's going to realize that I'm in the area. This is going to be a bit of a hard snag here. I also should have brought the Hawk over faster. So if he TPs... Oh, never mind. And again, the important part is drain his mana. And luckily the Necro 3s do damage, and they also drain mana. So decent counter. As soon as I spotted him and I was able to roar, I figured it was a kill. This looks like a kill on Puck. Okay, never mind. Fortunately, I broke my tether here. It's kind of nicely done by them. I actually did end up hitting him with both my axes. Okay. It's able to get out, bottling back up. Oh, this looks really bad for Chachi. He appears to have fed. Alright, Necro 3's up. 18 minutes. This is good. This is totally good to have it this early. So now I've got True Sight, so I can see invisible heroes, I can see wards, I can see sentry wards. And most importantly, I mana burn like crazy. It does 75 mana break per... And that's like multiplied by... If we pause the game a little bit and I talk about how good this is on Medusa. Oh shoot, I can't. Let me just do that for a second. Okay, so if we look at Medusa's mana shield, for every damage you do to Medusa, she loses... Alright, for 1 point of mana, she takes 2.5 damage. So that means that for every point of mana she has, you have to do 2.5 damage. So if you look at her mana pool, she has 689 mana. That means if we pull up a calculator and we go 689 times 2.5, that gives her 1,722.5 points of survivability. That is a ridiculous, that is actually a ridiculous amount of HP. Now if you mana drain it, you're essentially getting 2.5 times the damage. So if my melee summon is doing 75 damage and he's also mana breaking for 75, his mana break is in reality, not only does that do... Alright, he gets 75 damage. He gets damage from the mana break, which is another 75, I believe. And if that's the case, he's already hitting for 150. But the act of removing mana is, like, isn't that crazy? Your melee Necro hits for 150 physical damage. If the mana break does 100%, which I think it does. On Anti-Mage, it's like 60%. On Diffusal Blade, it's 100%. So it kind of varies. I'm not sure if it's 100% for the melee. But it already does 150 damage if your target has mana. But because it's a Medusa, and her losing mana is actually far more than that, it's actually 75 times 2.5, which is 187.5 mana. So she's taking 150 physical, and she's taking technically 187.5 with the extra mana that I drain. So really every time that the Necro 3 melee hits her, he's doing like 300 damage. I think I'm doing this right. 75 physical damage, and you're getting 75 mana break, and that does physical damage. So you're doing 150 physical, and because of her just simply losing mana from the mana break, she's also taking that net loss that could have been HP because it's mana drain, it's not damage dealt. So every time the Necro hits her, it does a ridiculous amount of damage. It's doing like a fifth of her total HP or survivability. It's incredible damage, really incredible damage. It also makes you think, is it worth it to use Stone Gaze? It's 200 mana, 200 mana is 2.5. It's actually a lot, 200 times 2.5. It's 500 HP. By using Stone Gaze, you're basically using 500 HP, which is kind of cool to think about it. Anyways, so yeah, mana drain, very good against Medusa. There was one pro game that I saw where Misery was playing Lion versus a Medusa, and he went 1-1-4 on Lion skill build, because the mana drain will drain 120 mana per second. And you're multiplying that by 2.5, right? Is basically what you're doing. So 120 times 2.5. He was basically doing a 300 damage nuke per second. All for mana drain. It was pretty cool. It was very smart. It was the smart way to do it. It's a counter against Medusa. You drain her mana, and that's one good way to do it. So that was pretty cool. All right, we'll resume the game because I just wanted to talk about that. And even still, the Necro 3 still does a lot of damage to regular heroes. 150 physical per hit, and the ranged one does something like 90, I believe. 90 damage a hit, 75 damage. 120, way higher. Really big damage at level 3. 120, and he mana burns for 225. Necro's a really good item, honestly. Oh, they caught a hero over here. This is just Lich dying, I guess. I didn't play that very well. I think I was looking for other targets or something. I don't even know if I knew the Lich was there, but we got him.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This looks like kind of a hard grab here. But we should be able to push. And this is one of the really good things that Beastmaster lets you do, is you kind of always know where your opponents are.
Radiant structures are fortified.
You can put it behind the towers, all that good stuff. You can have two Hawks up at the same time. They go invisible. Well, I like to use the American Eagles, but these person. Ooh, yeah, I got baited there. Super roared that puck. We actually didn't even get the tower. We probably should have gotten that tower. There it is, Merca. And then we just killed the puck anyways, so that felt good. Luckily we had some illusions over here to tank some of the Chain Frost damage, but I did not do a very good job with my illusions here. That guy looks out of mana. Oh, this doesn't look good.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Nice, I remember that. That felt good. But look how tanky I am at this point. Just with Necro and a wand and a Stout Shield, I took all that damage. Some stuff going on over there. Caught a little bit. And back to farming.
Top tower is under attack.
I guess they are a little limited on damage. We weren't able to kill the Dusa there and we lost Chachi, so it's kind of a bad team fight, but killing the puck there I felt was really good.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So Blink Dagger is definitely the next purchase. It basically turns you from like a kind of hard to gank people because you need to position close to them or behind them to a you can pretty much gank whatever the hell you want and kill anybody. And that's when Beastmaster starts getting really strong, is when you start solo killing. If you go for an Ags build, sure, you can roar more often, but you can't kill that much solo, and that's the really important part. Getting the kill on the Wind Ranger here is, I'm sorry, he ran forward, way far forward there. It's the mana burn, the right click, and that's pretty much it. He just dies. Deuce is very, very weak against Beastmaster. If I'm anywhere close to ahead, because I was mid, it was pretty easy to get to this position. So, almost got my blink. We did lose mid tower, which is kind of bad, but killing the Deuce I think is pretty worth it. So, my creeps attack really fast right now. Attack speed's really good on Necros as well. I think they have a very, very low BAT, which means that any attack speed improvement on them makes them attack way faster. So I believe there's a huge advantage to having it. We knew there was a ward over here, I think. I didn't get the sentry, but we dewarded the ward at least.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Alright, and we're in about 27. I've got Necro in about 50, so now I maybe just farm their jungle until I get my my cooldowns back up. Farm jungle or look for kills. But getting kills is kind of tough. See, the Medusa just killed my Hawk here. Should have been careful about that. I mean, I don't have my cooldowns for 30 seconds. It's really tough to kill her without Necro. Kind of felt like they had a ward there. Instead, it's just Medusa farming mid, I guess. I don't like that I put the boar all the way in the low ground like that. I feel like it should have been. That was really unfortunate. I didn't want. You know what I probably should have done? Rather than blinking on top of the puck, I should have blinked within range and then roared, like, but all while it being nighttime. I think that would have been a lot smarter. I did that really poorly. I remember this fight. It was just really bad. I tanked a lot of damage there, but it didn't work out. It was a really poor play by me. I think I told them that I wanted to go on the puck, so Chris tried for the shackle, but he missed. And when he misses shackle, then the puck's on edge, right? So what should have happened is I should have approached from behind with my Necro summoned, and I should have just roared from the backside where it was darkness, because there's a lower chance of him seeing me coming. If I blink right on top of him, then he's going to see me coming and he's going to phase shift. So if he phase shifts, it's gone. Like, I lost my opportunity. And roar's actually a pretty big cast time, so it's very difficult, basically. Bottom looks quite dead.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Was not the juke. Yeah, I think I really needed to approach that differently. I messed that up pretty bad. On the bright side, I'll have my cooldowns by the time I respawn, so that's kind of good. Best lane to gank here is easily to go through the bot lane, because I can just TP and walk into the jungle, and there's a low chance that they'll see me coming. Looks like Puck's chasing after our Necro. Oh, he got killed by a neutral creep. I was able to get the disable this time. And pretty easy kill there. It's important to do as much damage as possible there. Just because if Puck phase shifts, then he's pretty much gone. So I just try to do as much damage as possible in that 3.5 seconds. Or 4 seconds, sorry. This looks like a pretty good kill, honestly. I missed my axis. I actually fed the Lich a lot by doing that. One of the problems with Necro 3 is they're really expensive. They give out 200 gold for each one that dies. So by letting him kill my Necro, I give him 400 gold. It's equivalent to a kill, actually. It's one of the downsides of the item. There was a period of time where everybody was just spamming Necro 3s. Like, every team would buy like 4 or 5 Necro 3s and they would push with it, and it was really frustrating. So they got their bounty got increased a couple times until it was like, okay, every time we feed a Necro, we're giving them 400 gold. Maybe we should not do this like 4-man Necro strat thing anymore. It was pretty obnoxious. Next. I believe based on the replay, by the way, if you ever want to do this with illusions, you have to use the move command. And my move command is set to M, so I select my illusions, I press M, and I move them on the Roche. If they try to attack Roche, they die. That's how illusions die to Roche on. So, what was I going to say? Next item, I bought a pipe, I believe. And that's because I already felt like I was actually pretty tanky. And with my tankiness, I could very easily... Oh, got an invoker here. Literally, though. Oh, that was a bad blink. I feel like I actually should have been able to kill the invoker there, but I messed it up. I'm a little surprised I grabbed that, to be honest. Luckily, I never turned around and saw the Medusa, so I didn't have to take any Medusa damage there. Should right-click those on the Medusa very much so. Gotta drain his mana. Ooh, I'm actually taking a lot of damage. Oh yeah, and then she ended up killing my Necro 3. So she took 600 pure damage. That was cool. I don't know if they're gonna get this kill. Oh, I feel like they could have maybe. Don't feed the Necro. Don't feed the Necro. I fed the Necro. Ugh. It's so, when you're watching, it's like, oh, don't feed the Necro. But when you're playing, you just forget about that stuff all the time. But it's such a big deal. It's actually such a big deal. Chachi, I think, is dead.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
If he just used
Structures are fortified.
he just used poofs a little bit more, I think he would get these kills. This looks really dangerous. At this point I realized I was like, oh, he has an invoker. I think they saw me due to the vision range by the tower. I would normally run up there, but because they're chasing me, it's much smarter to run right. Can finish my bottom lane. I've almost got Necro 3 again, so... But yeah, the reason I got the pipe was because they have almost all magic damage. Lich, Puck, Coddle, Invoker, very magic heavy. So if I get a pipe, then I'll resist almost all their damage. Medusa can obviously do a lot of physical damage, but that's really only if she has good items, and she's not really on that train at all. So I was looking for the puck here, and I had to be careful with my vision. Very easy kill. Once I actually get the roar, of course, this is what I mean. The smart thing that I did there is I knew that puck was jungling, but the way that I moved the hawk was as such that the puck wasn't going to see the hawk. Because if the puck sees the hawk, then the puck worries about getting blink roared, basically. So whenever you see a hawk, you should realize that especially in an enemy jungle like this, then the Beastmaster is looking for a kill, basically, is what's happening. So you have to be very, very careful when you see the hawk, and you have to act a little scared, to be honest. And whenever you're not using these, if they're about to time out, just get a kill. Kill a neutral camp. They do so much damage, you might as well use their output to farm. But I moved the hawk basically on the outside of the vision until I knew which camp the puck was probably at. So I kept it right outside there. It's maybe, again, a little dangerous to blink and then roar. I should have stacked that camp. It's maybe a little dangerous to blink and then roar because there's a chance that the puck will just see me. But and phase shift rather than roaring from darkness. But I wanted to get right on top of the puck. That way when I spawned my Necro, I did as much damage as possible. So I think that's really important to do. Honestly, I think Beastmaster is a great hero. Like, very tanky. He can solo kill. He can scale okay. That's one of the downsides. He can't snowball as hard as a lot of other heroes, but he is still very good at snowballing. Just looking for kills because I've got Roar again. And Necro 3's up. It's one trick you can do. The wolves will, or the axes will do double damage if they're on their way back and they pass through something that hasn't been hit at all. So if you want them to hit multiple neutral creeps, you just have to position your hero in the right place and it'll be fine. So I have my hawk over by the jungle entrance, at least to my side of the jungle. And I play like this a lot when I play mid heroes when I'm ahead. I farm a lot on this part of the lane. I farm here and I take the jungle camps. So see, I was able to get damage on all these. Just increase the efficiency a bit, occasionally throw a hawk out to scout. Spotted some forge spirits. And there is my BOTs. So now my movement speed's increased by 50, which is actually pretty important here. I can escape, I can TP out, stuff like that. But with the pipe finished, I'm way more survivable now. I still have to worry about the Medusa a bit, but that's pretty much all. And I'm not too concerned about that. I feel good against Medusa. Blocking some camps here, a bit of a mistake. And I blocked the medium camp, I think. Blocked the small camp, actually.
Every coin helps.
But if you're not getting a pipe, you should basically usually get another utility item, something to help out the team is usually what you pick up. Saw an invoker over here. I could definitely go on this. But it doesn't look very good. I mean, I maybe could have initiated there. But my chances of keeping him alive I felt weren't very good, so I think that was fine what I just did by not initiating. Now they're spreading out a little bit, maybe I'll go for a kill, who knows. So always kind of position your hawk in a tree clump close to where you think the fight will be and let it sit still for 4 seconds. It'll go invisible and then you'll have a vision advantage over your opponents. Cuddle actually has very good vision though. He's almost got an Ags. Doesn't have it yet, but once he gets it, he will have an Ags and he will have very, very good vision as well. Oh, I think I was looking for a courier. Definitely looking for a courier. Could resummon my hawk. This is... They're literally all here. Killed Invoker, pipe is up. I wasted all of my mana. Blinding Light kind of messed things up for them. Still tanking. Oh, I remember that. I didn't get hit by it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And now, it matters.
The triple axis.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Man, that
Radiant's
mana leak
bottom
lasts so
barracks are
long.
under attack.
Did you guys see how much damage I tanked though? Wasn't that freaking
Radiant's
ridiculous?
are fortified.
I tank so much damage. My net worth is way more than theirs though, and that's basically why. But I tank so much damage. I just ate damage the whole time, and I kept wanding too. Like, every time you wand, you get like 200 HP. And I used Pipe, which blocked for 400. This didn't feel like a good fight, but honestly, trading Aurora for my carry's life, I think, is great. I would have liked to kill instead, but not really something that I could have done. I really should kill Ancients more. I think I didn't kill Ancients enough this game. Apparently selling my wand for something. I don't remember what I bought from here on out. I think I got Basher, if I remember correctly. So at this point I feel really tanky, so I said I need to get some damage because it's basically a Wind Ranger and a Wish Doctor support and a Meepo. So she bought a heart. I don't like a heart purchase. I think that should be a Scotty. I think Scotty is better on Meepo as the first item. So I got Basher now. Basher's a pretty good item on Beastmaster because you attack very rapidly with your hero. Don't be afraid to leave your boots at brown boots, by the way. I didn't really talk about that in the beginning of the game, but you can get treads, you can also skip it. Beastmaster is a hero that doesn't really need the treads that much. The tread switching is good, but once you get Necro, you kind of have enough mana anyways with bottles, so. My goal here is basically just Basher into Abyssal Blade. That way, if I need to, if I want to initiate on Puck, I can just blink Abyssal rather than blink Roaring. It'll basically give me 2 stuns rather than just the 1. And not to mention, it'll just give me a lot of right-click damage. If I wanted to go more damage focused, like let's say they had a lot of physical damage this game that I was having trouble with, I would have gone for an AC instead of a Pipe. And that would have given me tons of physical survivability and really good right-click as well. And it would have made all my illusions do more damage and attack faster. So AC is a really good pickup on Beastmaster. It's part of the reason Vlads is a good item on him. Because it makes your Necros do more damage, they have more armor, they lifesteal. Those aura items and those support items are just great on Beastmaster to have. But this was definitely a pipe game, I think. Due to the fact that they had Puck and Invoker and Lich and Coddle. Just tons of magic. Got my hawk, dude. That was my hawk! Now I'm just kind of poking around. I'm kind of having trouble finishing this game, it seems like. Probably because our carry is our offlane Wind Ranger. That's like the best carry we got. Same trick, axes and then blink to positions so that they hit 2 neutral camps instead. Increases your farming efficiency a little bit. Roshan is up here. Take Rosh pretty easy, I think. Farming, farming, farming. Yeah, that small camp's actually not that bad in gold. It's about 75. It's okay. It's about two last hits. Lich has an Ags. That's one of the problems. Like you would think Beastmaster is good against Lich because you're like, oh, I have all these summons. They're gonna tank all the damage. In reality, what usually happens is Lich just buys an Ags and they bounce around until all of your shit is dead. It's really frustrating. Killing Coddle is great though, because that hero is very, very good at counter pushing. And we're having a little bit of trouble pushing with Medusa and a Coddle together. It just makes pushing so tough, but with the Coddle dead like that, it's a really easy potential Rex. Costs me a Roar, but I think that's pretty worth it, honestly. I just wanted to access creep wave, I believe. It's so hard to go high ground. Instead, we just say, screw it, we're gonna take top.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
My camera positioning is kind of bad here. I should put it lower to see if people are approaching. Getting close to Abyssal. My attack speed is honestly not very good right now. It's basically because I'm attacking about as rapidly as you would with treads. Because basically my only attack speed right now is Inner Beast, so I've got 45 attack speed. It's okay, but if I had treads, the Abyssal would be a lot better. Don't die, little hawk. Damn it. Just always kills my hawk, dude. Didn't want to lose all my mana, so. There's a Lincoln's on the Medusa now, and this is a huge problem. Basically, the only way that I can roar him, well, or I could just kill the Lich. That bash was so big, actually. If I didn't get bashed, that would have gone so much worse. Pipe helping a lot. Ooh, big shackle on the puck. So I basically knew that going high ground was going to be very difficult, so all we had to do was initiate and kill somebody that I could kill. And Lich was slightly out of position, so I was able to go in.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's top barracks has fallen. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Alright, so we're all good. Pretty much killed everybody, got all the barracks except for one. There's a range barrack spot. Should have killed that. I don't think I saw it though. But yeah, when you're playing Beastmaster, you gotta look for those opportunities. And it was nice to have all this tankiness. The tankiness was enough to make me feel survivable, basically. I got a Hyperstone. I think it would have been better if I got some regen there or something. But the Hyperstone's good. I would have definitely made an AC next no matter what, because at this point I'm already very survivable against their nukes, and then I have to get... next thing is to make my Abyssal a little bit better, to go full DPS. And to go DPS I would just need... oh yeah, that's right, that's why I muted him. And that was where I muted him. So, Roar is 200 mana. Necro I think is 50 to use. Yeah. So I'm kind of limited on what I can cast right now. I was gonna roar him, but then his ultimate was gonna stun me, so I didn't think it was worth it. There's the Necro and the slow walk-in. Boom, there we go, Necro. I tried to Abyssal him, but he ran away from me. And it continues to bounce. Great personality on that one. See, I never saw any of this part because he was just being obnoxious, so oh well. Alright, and that's Beastmaster. I really like Beastmaster. I think he's a great mid hero. He works fine. You can passively farm. You can't really get a kill until you get 6, usually. That's not hard, actually. If you get like 2 supports to wrap around and they don't have a good escape like a Blink, then your Boro will just slow him for a really long time. I feel like a decent hero, like Beastmaster's okay against Storm. It's not like good because he can Remnant every time you go for a last hit, but you can use the boar to kind of limit his movement and harass him down in that way. I feel like that's maybe a decent way to beat Storm pre-6. You just slow him with the boar, bring the supports in, that's a kill, baby. Except he'll probably kill you in a lot of cases, but anyway, it's dangerous. It's not really a good Storm counter, but it's an option. But in the late game, it's pretty good against Storm. He'll buy Lincolns, but you can counter that by getting a Force staff, use the Force on him to break his Lincolns, and then roar him. Because Force is a lot cheaper than Lincolns is, that's for sure. So, yeah, that's a solution. I foresaw my victory this game, which is pretty cool.
Ooh,
But that's Beastmaster, and he's a great hero. I recommend trying him out. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you later. Goodbye.